Hello everyone, welcome to my Teen Mom News channel. In today's video, you'll learn something you've never heard before, so don't skip a second and keep an eye on our channel. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and give this video a like up, to get all the hottest updates, hottest moments, and hottest news from the Teen Mom world all in one place. The production of Teen Mom is currently on hiatus. Season 2 wrapped up back in May. The producers of the show have gone radio silent since then. After MTV canceled various long-running shows, there were speculations about Teen Mom being next on the list. The cast hasn't filmed anything for almost a year now. A few Teen Mom cast members claiming the show got canceled was particularly disheartening for the fans. However, fans aren't the only ones having a tough time. Many Teen Mom cast members' substantial income source was the show. When the show stopped production, their paychecks stopped as well. Teen Mom fame Amanda Connor and her husband, Ryan Edwards, are among those people who are currently facing significant financial challenges. Keep on reading to know more. Teen Mom, Amanda Connor's questionable online content lands her fan criticisms. Amanda Connor's eccentric online content has always been a topic of discussion. Mostly, they have garnered severe criticisms. Recently, her content landed her new husband in a pickle. The Teen Mom celeb posted a funny TikTok dance video with their daughter. However, fans quickly pointed out something unexpected in the background. Fans saw Ryan taking a shower, most probably naked. Their bathroom had a transparent door, so it's no surprise that the fans got quite a show. Although the transparent partition was blurred and frosted, viewers could discern the contents behind it. Amanda did blur out Ryan's private parts, but fans still felt shocked that she posted the controversial video. They understandably criticized her. She captioned the post, "I swear he can't stand me." Newlyweds Amanda and Ryan are struggling financially after Teen Mom production stops. The Teen Mom fandom is having quite a difficult time with the show's rumored cancellation. The show production is currently on pause. Moreover, the producers haven't issued any official statement regarding any revival of the show. Many Teen Mom stars are seemingly struggling after the show stopped its production. They are having significant financial struggles. Two of such MTV fames are newlyweds Amanda and her husband, Ryan. She recently shared with the fans that they are indeed struggling financially after the show stopped. A significant portion of their earning used to come from the show. With the production on hold, the big paycheck stopped subsequently. She recently took her TikTok viewers on a budget Walmart haul. Viewers saw she didn't have the money to purchase groceries like deli meats or fresh produce. When fans asked about her food choices, she said they are kind of low on money, so we're just doing what we can at the moment. She further wished that she had food stamps. Moreover, Ryan had urged the judge to decrease the amount of his child support. Teen Mom's dad reportedly earned a $35,000 paycheck for each episode they appeared in. Apart from Teen Mom earnings, Ryan also had his normal job as a mechanic, which fetches him $4,282 a month. However, after the show went on hiatus, their big, chunky financial means fell through. For more such latest Ryan and Amanda's updates, stay tuned to TV season and spoilers. Amanda and Ryan had always imagined that their first year of marriage would be filled with the simple joys most newlyweds dream about: quiet breakfasts in their tiny kitchen, whispered conversations about the future, the thrill of working toward shared goals. But instead they found themselves standing at the center of an unexpected storm that unfolded the moment production abruptly halted on Teen Mom, New Beginnings, the reality series that had documented their journey from young parenthood to married life. What was supposed to be a short pause in filming turned into an indefinite shutdown, a decision made by the network after declining viewership, contract disputes behind the scenes, and shifting creative strategies that left cast members like Amanda and Ryan in a precarious position. The financial structure of their lives had gradually adapted to years of consistent production schedules, stipends for filming days, bonuses for key story arcs, travel expenses covered by the network, and the steady flow of sponsored content deals that came from having cameras pointed at them nearly year-round. But when that structure vanished overnight, the couple found themselves grappling with a reality they had not prepared for, a reality in which bills piled up faster than answers and where the absence of camera crews created a silence that felt more threatening than peaceful. Their loyal fanbase began noticing the sudden shift almost immediately. Social media posts from Amanda dwindled, her once frequent updates about motherhood, fashion finds, and snippets of daily life grew rare. Ryan, who had built something of a small following through his gym-related posts and occasional motivational videos, stopped posting altogether. Speculation rose with the force of a tidal wave, and before long, rumors flooded online forums claiming the pair had run into financial trouble due to the halt in production. Rumors, however, did not come close to capturing the magnitude of the struggle that unfolded behind closed doors. The abrupt stop came at a time when Amanda and Ryan had taken significant steps toward building a stable future. They had recently signed a lease for a newer, slightly larger home to accommodate their growing family. They had also begun the process of launching a small online boutique, a venture that relied heavily on the visibility they gained from the show. With production on indefinite hold, the momentum that once drove their business plans evaporated almost overnight. Yet the couple kept these worries to themselves, not out of pride but because they were still adjusting to the truth themselves. In the months leading up to their wedding, Amanda had frequently joked that she didn't know what life would feel like without cameras around. From her teenage years, the presence of production crews had become as normal as friends or relatives. Reality TV had documented her first pregnancy, her difficult journey through early parenthood, her evolving relationship with Ryan, and ultimately the emotional wedding episode that viewers praised for its sincerity. But with the disappearance of the cameras came an emotional shift she had not expected. Without a team prompting interviews, guiding story beats, or capturing the nuances of her life, Amanda began to feel invisible. What she once believed would be a welcome break from public scrutiny instead left her questioning where she belonged in a world that no longer watched her every move. Meanwhile, Ryan felt the financial pressure even more acutely. Having grown up in a family that lived paycheck to paycheck, he understood the weight of bills and responsibilities in a way that made the current crisis feel like a haunting echo from his past. He had taken pride in building a stable income through show appearances, reunion specials, and occasional sponsorship bookings. For someone who had struggled academically and didn't pursue college, the steady income from filming had allowed him to step into adulthood with confidence. Losing that income, without warning, without a backup plan, filled him with a quiet dread he tried his best to hide from Amanda. Their early conversations about the shutdown were filled with reassurances. "It's temporary," Amanda insisted, attempting to sound confident even when she wasn't. "They'll figure things out. They always do." But each passing week without updates from producers chipped away at that reassurance. And the silence from the network grew louder. As the couple adjusted to life outside the spotlight, the financial implications intensified. The rent on their new house was higher than their previous place. Their car payments, which had always been manageable under the show's payment schedule, began to feel suffocating. The online boutique they had launched stalled before it even had the chance to grow. Manufacturing delays, inventory costs, and marketing expenses quickly became overwhelming. In desperation, Amanda attempted to revive her social media presence, hoping to generate sponsored posts that could help cover basic expenses. But as engagement dropped, without the show keeping her name circulating, brands became less interested. Offers that once paid enough to cover entire weeks of expenses dwindled into small, one-off deals that barely covered a grocery run. Ryan picked up part-time work at a local gym, taking early morning shifts to help with equipment maintenance and member check-ins. It wasn't glamorous, nor did it pay enough to solve their financial troubles, but it allowed him to feel like he was contributing something meaningful. Yet even with his efforts, their debt continued to grow. Credit card balances rose. They fell behind on utility bills. And worst of all, they worried constantly about how the instability would affect their children. Behind the financial stress was a deeper emotional strain on their marriage. Newlyweds are often warned that the first year is the hardest, but no one had warned Amanda and Ryan about how difficult it could feel when that first year came paired with financial insecurity, public pressure, and the loss of the familiar structure that had framed their relationship since the beginning. Small arguments flared into larger ones. Tension seeped into everyday interactions. At times, they felt like they weren't just fighting their circumstances, they were fighting to remember who they were as a couple outside the show. It became clear that their roles in the relationship were shifting. Amanda found herself overwhelmed with guilt that so much of their financial dependence had been tied to her long-running role in the series. Ryan, who prided himself on being the emotional anchor of their family, felt helpless each time he saw the anxiety on Amanda's face. Yet even amid the emotional turbulence, they never stopped trying. They held late-night discussions long after the kids were asleep, brainstorming ways to rebuild their lives from the ground up. Amanda researched freelance editing work, online customer service positions, and the possibility of expanding their boutique in new directions. Ryan explored certification programs to become a personal trainer, hoping that turning his passion for fitness into a stable career could offer long-term security. Despite their determination, however, the challenges persisted. The more they tried to regain control, the more they realized how deeply intertwined their lives had become with the show that had documented their entire young adulthood. In many ways, they weren't just mourning the loss of income, they were mourning the loss of identity. When production halted, they didn't simply lose a platform, they lost the narrative structure that had given shape to their lives for nearly a decade. Their storylines, once carefully crafted by a team of producers, were now unfolding in real time with no safety net. And real life, they quickly discovered, was far less forgiving than reality TV. As weeks stretched into months, Amanda felt the pressure building inside her. She had always carried an unspoken expectation that she needed to present her life in a way that fans could admire, a life filled with resilience, growth, and relatability. But as their financial situation worsened, she found herself unable to share their struggles publicly, afraid of being judged for their lack of preparation or criticized for the choices that had led them here. On social media, she smiled. In private, she cried in the bathroom late at night, hoping Ryan wouldn't hear. Meanwhile, Ryan fought his own internal battles. He didn't want Amanda to feel like she had failed, nor did he want to burden her with his fears. Yet the mounting bills and their stalled dreams made it difficult for him to maintain the steady optimism he had always relied on. He often stayed awake long after Amanda fell asleep, scrolling through job listings, calculating expenses, and searching for solutions he wasn't sure existed. Their situation reached a breaking point when they received a notice warning of potential eviction if they didn't bring their rent current within 30 days. For a long moment after opening the letter, neither said a word. The silence between them felt like a physical weight pressing down on their chests. It wasn't just the fear of losing their home, it was the feeling of losing control over their lives entirely. That night, they sat at their kitchen table, surrounded by overdue bills, budgeting spreadsheets, and a shared sense of exhaustion. But for the first time in months, they also felt something else, clarity. They realized they had been fighting their situation separately, each trying to protect the other from stress, each carrying burdens alone. If they were going to overcome this, they needed to face it together. In the days that followed, they made significant choices. They met with a financial advisor who specialized in helping young couples rebuild after sudden income loss. They negotiated with utility companies, arranged payment plans, and sold items they no longer needed. Ryan enrolled in an accelerated certification program to become a personal trainer. Amanda focused on revamping their boutique, restructuring it in a way that didn't depend on social media popularity. They even reached out to producers, not to demand updates but to seek clarity about their future. While the network couldn't provide definitive answers, the conversation gave the couple something they had lacked for months: closure. For the first time since production halted, Amanda and Ryan stopped waiting for the show to return and started planning lives that didn't revolve around it. The shift was slow, sometimes painful, but undeniably transformative. As the months passed, they began noticing small victories. Ryan picked up more clients during his personal training internship. Amanda's reworked boutique started gaining traction with a small but loyal customer base. They still struggled, often juggling bills and making sacrifices, but for the first time in almost a year, they felt like they were moving toward stability rather than further into crisis. Their marriage also grew stronger. The arguments faded as they learned to communicate with honesty and vulnerability. The weight they once carried alone became lighter as they learned to share it. They laughed more. They dreamed again. And although they still didn't know what the future held, whether the show would return or whether they would permanently move on from the world of reality television, they finally felt capable of facing whatever came next. Word of their struggles eventually reached the public, partly through a carefully crafted statement Amanda released online. Instead of dramatizing their hardships or seeking sympathy, she chose transparency. She explained that she and Ryan were navigating major life changes, adjusting to a world outside the show, and learning how to rebuild their lives with resilience. Fans responded with overwhelming support. Messages poured in from viewers who related to financial hardships, young marriage struggles, and the daunting reality of starting over. It reminded Amanda and Ryan that their value didn't come from being on television, it came from being human, relatable, and resilient. As their story continued to unfold, the couple discovered something profound, that life without cameras, though challenging, offered a depth of growth they had never experienced while filming. They learned to rely on themselves rather than production schedules. They learned to trust each other rather than edited storylines. And they learned that even the hardest seasons of life could be changed through unwavering determination, teamwork, and love. Today, Amanda and Ryan are not entirely out of the woods. Their financial stability is still a work in progress, their careers are still evolving, and their future is still uncertain. But they are no longer defined by the struggles they faced when production stopped. Instead, they are defined by their perseverance, their unity, and their commitment to building a life that isn't dependent on a television show. They are still the same young couple fans fell in love with, but now their story extends far beyond what cameras can capture. Their journey is no longer a storyline crafted for entertainment, it is a testament to resilience, partnership, and the courage it takes to start over when life unexpectedly shifts off script. Their marriage, once tested by the weight of lost income and public pressure, now stands stronger than ever, built not on the foundation of televised moments but on authentic love, shared struggle, and hard-won hope. And for Amanda and Ryan, that is a story far more meaningful than anything that could ever air on television. If you liked today's update, please like and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our Teen Mom News channel so that you don't miss any new updates. If you are interested in any specific news or information, please let us know in the comments. We will try to provide the right information according to your needs. Stay tuned for the next update and take care of yourself. Thank you.